If you're in the music video industry, you're looking for some lights that you can actually leave on the frame on purpose instead of, oops, the light is in the shot, not this guy's over here. So today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new release from Godox. This is the TL60 RGB tube lights. So sit back, relax, don't go nowhere because I got a lot to cover here for you guys. I don't know about you guys, but every time that I'm researching for something, either if I'm buying, for example, a new recorder, for example, I have to research everywhere, YouTube, reviews and everything. So that can be actually exhausting if you have to find information here and then go to the other channel to find more information about the same thing. So before I start anything here, I'm going to tell you guys up front everything that's going to be expected to find in this video here. I'm going to be showing you guys the entire owner's manual of this light here, including every single one of those 39 effects in 14 different groups in real time, one by one. If you want to buy these lights, I think you want to see absolutely everything about these lights. So this particular video here, I don't think you're gonna find the need to go to any other YouTube channel to find more information about these lights, because everything that I can possibly think of, it's going to be covered here. And the usual disclaimer, Godox sent me these lights here for me to test it out, and I do get to keep these lights, and that doesn't alter in any way the outcome of the review is. If there's something I don't like about this light, no problem. And they don't get to see a preview of anything like this here. You guys are the first watching this video, same thing with them, so there's nothing planned here. All I do is upload the video on the internet here on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. So you probably wonder what's up with this little light in the background there. So this is actually the Godox LC500R, which also comes with an awesome case. So if you happen to have that light right there, you probably know that it comes with the same exact RC-R9 remote control that this TL60 comes with. So you can actually control them the same way, like this. All you have to do is to get the channel number or group number here. But the other light here, the LC500R, does not come with the app, so that was a previous release before this one's here. So the light on the back there, you can also control with the remote control or by the buttons on the back of the light there. This lights here, there are 4 ways to control it. You can also control by the RC-R9 remote, also using the buttons on the back of the light, a DMX, if you have one, and finally using the Godox Light app, which I'm going to be covering here in absolute detail, everything from top to bottom. There's several people who might be interested in having lights like this, but if you are a hobbyist or an actual production company that does this for a living with real clients, especially paid jobs, you know, you probably want as many of these lights on set as possible. But even if you want to buy just one light, Godox has a package of one single TL60 light, or in this case here, I have this kit number 2, which includes 2 lights in this case, and also they sell 4, which is the kit number 4, which has 4 TL60s, and some other jobs you might even need more than that. So today I'm reviewing a kit with 2 lights. It comes with this awesome little case here. It's made of a hard EVA material, and the top here has also foam, which is also removable. And I love the fact that it comes with separate compartments for everything. When you will place the light right here, nothing touches each other, and also all the power supplies and whatnot, everything here is separate. It comes with 220 volt, 2.4 amp power supplies. It also comes with 2 power cords, and look at the length of this thing here. 2 RJ45 cables for DMX control, 4 steel cables, which they are dressed in plastic here, which is nice to feel, and it doesn't scratch anything, which they go right here in between those 2 holes right here for more mounting possibilities of lights. And it also comes with these 2 little V-mount looking kind of mounts here. So there's one for each power supply. So this one here you attach to the stand or anything with a pipe or whatever. And this one here's the part that attaches to the actual power supply. And it also comes with this little C looking transparent clamps here, which they fit this light like a glove, and it does not scratch the finish of the light. And on the back it features 2 1/4-20 threads, and also 2 holes for you to even screw this on the wall or whatever piece of hardware that you encounter. Now next I'm going to be talking about how to mount the lights. They don't just mount on a stand like this here, so it depends also on your creativity, and they have this in mind as well. You can simply hang this against the wall, or you put this thing on a stand here. There are 2 holes on the top of this light here, and this is where you use the steel cables to mount with this light. And this particular cable here, they actually dress with the some kind of a PVC material, whatever that is. It does not scratch your light, especially when you put the cable through here, as you can see. So when it actually slides this way, you're not scratching your light. This whole thing is like soft outside. And this cable also interconnect with each other, so you can actually connect all 4 or just use one, as you can see, and to unscrew you simply do the opposite here. So the possibilities of mounting this light is like insane. So depending on what you're doing, even if you don't want to see anything hanging here, you can even use dental floss, I don't know, painting black or whatever. So this thing is going to be hanging somewhere in the air with a very thin, very strong dental floss wire like this, right? So there's another possibility to mount this light if you want everything hanging and not to be seen. So paint this thing black here, or even use the way it is, but it's a lot less obvious than a cable like this. So there's so many things that you can mount this light at with this little C bracket right here. Right now I have a third-party accessory, which this disc here is a removable magnet. You can actually stick it right here on a refrigerator. I can move the light this way, leave it over there. So even do this here. And the C bracket here is cut very precisely to the shape of the light, and the edges here, you see there's a little rubbery material between this thing and the latch here. So when you actually mount this on the light, actually it stops right here and then gently finishes going in. And then all you gotta do is gently press this latch here. It's not going anywhere, even with vibration. To remove it, you just unlatch this thing here and slide it effortless, and then it's out. And to mount this power supply to a stand or any other pole that you have laying around, all you gotta do is use this particular thing here. So this wraps around the bottom of the actual power supply, and then this actually finishes hugging the thing. So you have a complete little diaper looking kind of thing, which prevents the power supply from falling. And this other part here has a quick release, which I recommend you to press it first, and then you simply slide this in here and then release, and it's done. I would actually use this for something else. I love this little V-mount looking things here. I'm probably gonna be hooking up my micro V-mount battery on this instead. So to actually mount the power supply, the way I do how to mount this thing on the stand, I have a different approach. I cannot get enough for these velcros here. This is not any velcro. This is this particular velcro here. You gotta buy this particular one here that you can find at any Lowe's or Home Depot store. So this particular velcro here is very nice and thin. It wraps cables and everything, so it keeps things looking like new. For example, the power cable here, look how I keep my things. And it looks like factory every single time. Even if I use this for 10 years, it's always gonna look like this. And everything that I have, including the power supply, they're clean. No scratches, no damage, no nothing. And on the back here, I just put one of those self-sticky furniture little pads here. And then from the three sides of the wall here on the adapter, I put a industrial strength Velcro. The soft one first around here, stops right here. And then the coarse side of the Velcro to Velcro around, and then that's what it's gonna hug the thing on a stand here, and this doesn't go anywhere, and then is a very much needed setup. The TL60 has a CRI of 96 and a TLCI of 98, but all the other technical things, I'm just going to leave it on the side here, so if you want to care to read all this stuff, you're welcome to do that. But I'm going to go straight to the point here. When I buy lights like this, of course, the color accuracy is very important, but also how long the battery lasts, and also how hot these lights can get, and how cold or how hot can I use this light. This is what is very important. So let me start with the temperature here. The TL60 can withstand temperature in operation use from -10 Celsius all the way to 40 degrees Celsius, or 14 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So that to me is very cool, because the place that I was a couple of days ago with the music video they were doing, the building had no heat and it was freezing cold, and this light will probably have no problem, because according to the specifications they can run to 14 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So how long does battery last? According to what Godox says, these lights can actually run for about 2 hours depending on the temperature, maybe an hour and 40 minutes, and also using on CCT mode at 100%. Now, as far as construction of the whole light outside here, is made of ABS plastic on top and on the bottom here. For these things, I actually like plastic over metal, because especially in the winter and the cold environments, to touch metal here is going to be very uncomfortable. And why would this need to be made of metal? Just going to increase the cost of the light. I don't have any problem with plastic as long as it is plastic like this. And also the construction of this tube here is not a hard or soft material. If you squeeze a little hard, you can feel the thing kind of going in a little bit, which also contributes not being easy to break. It's not that I want to ever drop this light on the ground, because I want this light to look new forever. And everybody should be careful with the equipment, but I think if you drop this light a couple of times, depending on the fall, I don't think nothing's gonna happen with this light. And I also love the power switch here. Is a regular power switch that you can actually turn it off like this instead of a soft button. It's like a regular power switch, and it's located right in the front. and the controls located right in the back. Another thing that I like about this light here is how long the tube is. It's almost like a meter long, and also compared to the other RGB lights, the LC500 are in the back. And this light right here looks like it's almost half of the tube, right? So it's another thing that I really like. And also the fact that all the controls are in the back here, and the light is actually always pointing in the opposite direction, because for example, this light here, when I'm doing my settings, this can actually be blasting in my face. The same exact thing with the other light there. On CCT mode, when you're down your temperature or whatever, you see all the diodes right in your face. This light here, the light is always away from your face. Nearby the power switch here, that's when you plug in your DC adapter, which I always recommend that you always use the original manufacturer's power supply to avoid any damage to your light, which by the way, this is a DC 20 volt 2.4 amps. And on the other side here, that's when you have your controls, all your buttons and everything here. And also inside here, the RJ45 jacks, which is going to be accepting signals from your DMX as a lead in, and then the out as a follow. And using a DMX, you can actually control up to 18 of these units. Now I'm going to show you guys the back panel of this light here. Power the light on. You have the function, the dim, the mode, the gels, the Wi-Fi controls, and the plus and minus buttons here. So right now, pressing the mode, we are on CCT mode. Using the dim, you can control the brightness. It's going to blink, and then to confirm, you press it, it goes solid again. So again, it's at 1%. You can go from 0% to 1% increments all the way to 100%. Doesn't take too long. To change the color temperature, simply press the minus and plus buttons here. You can go all the way from 2700 degrees Kelvin in 100 Kelvin increments up or down, all the way to 6500 degrees Kelvin. The mod buttons here lets you cycle through the CCT mode, HSI mode, effects, and back to CCT. So pressing the mod once again, you are at the RGB or HSI mode. Here's your hue, again the plus and minus buttons. Right now I'm on red. You can go all the way to the 360 degrees, all the colors here. And another thing, you don't have to go to the whole 360 here if you want to switch to magenta. So since we're in red, all you gotta do is go back and forth, like 360 or 0 or 1, so it goes in cycles like this. Press the function button, that's when you access the saturation from 100 all the way to 0. Press it again, it goes back to the hue. Pressing the mod button again is going to take you to the effects page, which there are 14 groups into 39 kinds of different effects, and also which you can control the speed. And when I'm going to be using the app, I'm going to show you guys in real time every single one of those effects. So in this case here, again, to adjust the brightness, you press the dim button. Confirm. Now to press the minus button here, that's when you cycle through all the 14 different combinations of effects here. And each effect here comes with 3 varieties in the speed. So to change that, all you have to do is to press the function button here. Right now we are on speed number 1, number 2, number 3. Go back to number 1. Pressing the mod button again is going to take you to the original CCT mode. Now this light also features gels, in which in the back panel of this light here, all you have to do is press this little gel button here. You can also choose between Roscoe gels or Lee. So this is what the minus and plus buttons let you do. And to confirm, you just press the function, it takes you to the gels, and then you continue to press the plus and minus buttons. Now to go back to the previous page, you press this button again, and then from the minus and plus buttons, you actually select the Lee brand now, and then again press the function, it takes you to the Lee brand gels. And again, press this button here, you go back to the Roscoe if you want. And pressing these buttons here, that's when you access control of your remote control and everything else, wireless wise. So the first one is the Bluetooth. Press the function. You're going to see the Bluetooth on or off. And then if you press the function once again, you're going to hit the reset. There's nothing to be careful here. You're not resetting this thing to factory defaults. It's just the Bluetooth is going to be reset. So don't be afraid. You can actually press the plus and minus buttons. Each one is going to activate the reset. It's going to say reset there. Don't worry, don't erase any settings of the light. The minus and plus is going to turn on and off. Pressing the function again is going to either reset or not reset. If you don't want to reset anything, don't touch these buttons here, the plus and minus buttons. Just press the function again, it gets out of the way. Press this button again, goes back to the main page. Press the minus button, it's going to take you to the remote control settings. Press this button again here, that's when you're going to see your channels, your group, your ID number, and the on and off, which means when you are off, the remote control doesn't work. When it's back to on, it will work. Notice that this light is going to be a cyan color. When you deactivate it, everything is blue. So when this is actually on a cyan color, it means you're using the remote control and the app at the same time, which this light allows you to do that. To go to the next settings here, all you have to do is keep pressing the function button until the arrow points to the desired thing that you want to control. To change the group, all you have to do is press the plus and minus buttons. It goes from channel 1 all the way to 32. Press the function again, it's going to take you to the next thing, which is the group, from A to F. Press the function button again, it's going to take you to the ID, which is from number 1 all the way to off or 99. Now keep in mind that if your ID is off, your remote control will not work. You have to be either on any of this ID from 1 to 99. So in order for this remote to work properly without any headaches, all you have to do is to simply match the information that's in here to the information that's over here. For example, you see the channel 1, group A, ID 1, channel 1, group A, ID 1. So if you switch this to off, I can actually control my other light and not this one here. So let's turn it back to on, and then I can see my light being turned on here. So if you want to change the channel, for example, press the function button again. Let's say that you change it to channel 3. Make sure you are also changing it to channel 3 here or anything with the ID or the group and everything. Also make sure the ID is set to any number other than off. Otherwise, the remote is not going to work. Right now, nothing is responding. Make sure it is, in this case here, set to the ID number 1. If you want to change the ID to number 3, for example, make sure you come here and also do the same exact thing. So channel 3, group A, ID 3, and make sure that's on if you want to control this light with this remote. Now this remote control here I really like. Look at the size of this remote, the actual type of display here, very nice. And it has every function that this light does, everything at the touch of a button right here. Even shortcuts, like for example right now I'm at 5600 degrees Kelvin. You can switch to 32, 56, 65, go back here. The RGB, you can have the red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, yellow, pink, violet and orange. You can go back to the CCT if you want, or back to the RGB, and here you can also of course control the brightness and the saturation levels, the hue. Now in the light itself, the function button acts differently, right? The function button here doesn't do anything. For example, on the RGB, you have to use the up and down arrow as the function, because the function button doesn't do anything. On the actual light, the function button does this, and on the remote, the arrows does the same job as the function somehow. To power off the light, power button, bring it back on. Speaking of range here, if you're using the Godox light app, you can be as far away as 30 meters from this light, and using the remote control, you can be as far away as 50 meters from this light. Now next I'm going to be showing you guys in full detail the Godox light app. It's not just a quick thing here. I'm going to be showing you a full tutorial and every single thing about the app, including all the effects in real time, which nobody on YouTube does that. And here I'm going to show you guys at 1 meter away from that projection screen how bright this light can get at 100% using this light meter here. Right now I'm at ISO 800 at 30 frames per second. And most of you guys are going to shoot those videos in f1.8 or f2.8 or whatever, so there should be plenty of brightness there. Now again, if you just want to use this light to show its colors, you probably want to do 1% should be enough to do your music videos or whatever you want to do. But if you want to light something, that's when I'm going to show you guys how bright this thing can get here. Right now I'm on CCT mode with the light at 100%, and I'm going to be measuring right at the center of this light here. And it's going to read about f4.5. Now I'm going to be jumping this light all the way down to 1%. Right in front of the light here is measuring to 8.5. And all the way back there, it's going to be reading f1.4. Right now the light is on HSI or RGB. I believe the magenta is one of the strongest colors here, and the light is at 100%. Let's see what the meter says here about f2.8. Now let's try f240, which is absolutely blue. Slightly stronger, 2.88. Actually the green is one of the strongest. So testing that again here. It's reading f4. So I played with a few colors here. As you can see on RGB mode, each light has a different intensity, even if it is at 100%. So it varies between f2.8 and f4. Now let's launch the app, which is the Godox light here, the little blue icon. So right now is a demo studio, which you should ignore. This is just for factory purposes. And on the top right here, you see this little gear icon here. That's when you can create a Godox account. You don't really have to, I think, in order to make this app work, but if you have to, all they want from you is an email address, nothing else. Plus, of course, you gotta create a little password there, but other than that, that's just pretty much it. So to start everything here, click on the plus button there, and then add studio. I'm gonna name this as TL60, and then save. Now you can actually rename to something else, or you can actually delete or cancel. So right now, just tap on this TL60 thing that I just created here. And then you see groups and light. There's nothing here. So on the bottom left, there is the add light bulb button there. So click on the add. And then on the top right, click on the add again. This can be a little confusing for first-time users. I had a little bit of a hard time, but I actually finally got the hang of the thing here. So right now it's easy. So connectable devices, as long as your lights are on here, your lights are going to be detected. So in my case, I only have 2 of these lights. If you have 4 or 6 or 8 of those lights, the fun is going to quadruple. But right now, I only have 2 lights. I'm the poor guy here. So select 1 and 2, and then confirm. Okay, press the back arrow here on the top left, right? So here is your lights. They take a little while to come back online. You saw that the light bulb just appeared here, right? So you select these 2 here, and then you can actually turn on and off separately because they are as lights, not groups, right? Now also keep in mind that each one of these lights, they have a different ID, so they can actually connect separately, right? Each ID to connect to the network. So the top one here happens to be 7E0A, the other one is a 8C6C. Now right now they are as lights, so as you can see, you can only control them individually right here. So if you want to control them at the same time, you gotta make them as a group. Now to add the lights as lights is super easy. What got me a little bit with a headache is to create a group. I'm gonna show you why. So let's tap on the groups here on the bottom left. So G group 01, you can actually add it, create whatever name here, confirm. Now the group thing appeared here in the middle, right? So all you have to do now is to tap on this G group thing here and then click add. And then you see your lights again. Then you select, let's say that you have like 8 here. You can select all 8 or just 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, right? So right now I only have 2 lights. I'm gonna select them 2. Click confirm. There you go. Now you go back here. You're gonna see now the lights, things are gone here. You only have groups now. You can turn them off at the same time. Regardless, you have a check mark. I don't know what's up with this check mark. It doesn't do anything. You can easily turn them off and turn them on. So that's when the fun begins. So let's go to the scene control, which is located on the bottom right. Tap on that thing. Tap on the mode one, which is the same thing, bottom right. Takes you to the main menu. Let's choose the RGB-W. If the brightness here doesn't work with one of these lights, it's because this one or this one here takes a couple seconds to go back online somehow. And then as you can see here, you're controlling everything simultaneously, right? So let's set this 25% for a good exposure of color here. And then as you are on the bottom here, you can see the most saturated colors. And as you move up, you start to lose saturation to about 50%, 30%, 20%, all the way to white. And then again, here's your brightness, right? And then let's go back to this beautiful color here. So as you can see right now near this arrow here, I'm currently at the color field, and then on the sliders here, which is I can barely see, you just tap on that thing. Now you can actually create or control separately every single color, like the red alone, only the green, blue only, or white only, or a combination of whatever that you want to do here. And here again is your brightness. And let's go back to the color field. To get out of here, press the mode button again. Takes you to the main menu again. Let's go to the HSI, which is the same exact thing, it's just a different graphic here. So the circle here on the corners, all the way outside the circle, that's when you have your full saturation. And as you go to the center of the circle, you lose the saturation all the way to the white. And again, here is your brightness. One thing I don't like is because sometimes when you change modes here, this brightness goes default to 0, and then you think your lights are offline or something's wrong. No, just make sure you are out of the 0 here, okay? So go back to the 25%. Press the mode button again. Let's go to the CCT now. And then let me ease up the brightness here. And right now you have the range of 2500 degrees Kelvin all the way to 85, and the plus and minus you can actually control 100 Kelvin increments, up or down. And this is supposed to control the magenta shit when you buy like cheap LEDs, or if the other LEDs like a little bit on the magenta side and the green side. But unfortunately, I was looking right at the diodes. This is not doing anything here. I know this is the feature that's supposed to correct minus or plus green or magenta, whatever, but the LED diodes are not doing anything whatsoever. So they need to update the firmware to bring this thing to a functional state here, because right now it's not doing anything, but this is what this is for. Magenta or green tint correction. And when you press this arrow right here, you see your values right there, just so you know where you are at. And then press the mode button again on the bottom right. It takes you to the main menu again. Let's go to the gel filter right now. So you have the option here to choose the Roscoe brand or the Lee brand. Let's start with the Lee brand, for example. Let me adjust my brightness here. This thing on the bottom here is always your brightness, okay? So let's say they have a brand new gel. So this is what Godox claims, that this is the actual gel, whatever color this is here. So on the top here, on the edge, you can actually control the hue, or on the bottom, the saturation. Let's choose now the peacock blue. So again, the brightness is right here on the bottom, the hue, and the saturation. I think the hue here is what would look like if your light was 3200 degrees Kelvin or 80-some degrees Kelvin. This is what the hue means, I think. Now, if you have a gel that's worn out, the same exact peacock blue here, this is why they also made you have the ability here to control the hue and saturation, because the worn out gels, they don't look like this particular color here. Now, let's go to the Roscoe side here. Let's get this bright pink right here. The same thing, the hue and saturation. And also bottom here is your brightness, always. You have all these gels here. So this one looks like this. I'm gonna go real quick here. Show you guys what's going on. And the Lee is this one here. There you go. Let's go to the mode again and have the color picker. So this is the default picture that they have here. So wherever you point here, this is what your lights are going to be doing. They're going to pick up this color here, like a solid green, like a light green or whatever. So you can also take a picture. It's not a lot of color going on here, but I'm going to be showing you guys an example here. Let's see if I have something colorful here. Let's take a picture of my booties. My carpet is pretty clean. I use booties here. I'm picky with my stuff. So hit done, and then right there, blue or white. See how cool that is? And then hit save. You can actually save this particular color here that you want in case you want to go back to it. So I'm gonna hit cancel. So sometimes it takes a while to populate the pictures here. Recently added, I'm tapping on the thing, nothing happens. This is something that needs to be improved with firmware. Let's click on recents. Nothing. I saw this thing here a while ago. Let's go back here. See what I'm talking about? Sometimes it's just nothing happens. Now it's starting to populate. There you go. So this can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. So let's choose this picture here, and then you can actually change all the colors here. The red or whatever. See that? Pink stuff. Pretty cool. So going back to the scene control here, press the mode again. Let's go to the effects now. You have 14 effects with 3 variations on each. And again, the bottom bar here is always your brightness. So like again, I'm going to show you guys each and every one of these effects in real time. I'm sure some of you guys want to see this whole thing. Otherwise, skip ahead. So here's the RGB cycle. Speed number 1 does this. Number 2. Number 3. Now the flash. Number 2. Number 3. That one's kind of cool. The laser. Lightning. in position number 3. Now we have the broken bulb on speed 1. Number 2. And 3. Now I have the TV. Speed number 2. And number 3. Now I have the candle, which a lot of people are going to be use this. Pretty decent. I think the number 2 is even better. And now the number 3. When it's a little bit windy, you know, the candles do that. I like the ramp on this. It's not really like flashing, it's more like on a curve, which is always better for a candlelight effect. And then we have the fire, speed number 1. Number 2. So that helps you, showing you guys each individual effect, help you guys to kind of predict exactly what this thing is gonna do before you even bought your lights. So you're welcome. Now we have the firework. Okay, that's done. Number 2. And number 3. Then we have the police car. So this one alternates only blue, 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 red, red, red. Should be blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, but it's fine. Speed number 2. And 3. Okay. And fire truck. And speed number 2. That's a good one. And number 3. Okay. Ambulance. Number 2. Good. Number 3. Okay, so they kept it pretty consistent here. So on number 3 it looks like this here, on the fire truck, and the ambulance looks like this here. Great. Now this is one of my favorite, the music thing. So on the app it doesn't let me change to the speed 2 and 3, because on the actual light here, as far as I remember, I can, and the light acts different, more like a delay, or the other one is more continuous, something like that. But you know, all 3 speeds are right here. So the music effect here is one of my favorite features, especially if you're doing a music video going on, because you need the actual song, and this is going to be synchronized to whatever beats that is going on with the music. And the SOS here, it just looks like what a SOS signal looks like. You know, so go back to the main page here. So here on the top of the page you see a share, which means if you have another friend that also have these lights here and he's interested on the whatever settings they did here, you can also share this barcode with him, this QR code, and he will get the same exact thing that you did with this whatever settings that you did, your custom presets or whatever. And then you can actually import either from the cloud or the local that you can save, or export. So if you lose everything here, you can actually import again from the cloud or whatever, everything comes back here. You can also export. Now lastly, when you go back to the setup here, you can actually, of course, again, add more lights, Now the update here, it's gonna let you update the firmware of your lights. I don't think it is updating the application, because as far as I understand, this is actually the device version on the lights themselves, which I just updated, as you can see here, which is 25. The latest version is 25. You can see the previous version was 24. And there you go, hit firmware upgrade here, and then you see the whole thing progressing until the thing finishes updating, and then you can actually get out of here and your lights have been updated. And to update the app, you have to go to the App Store, make sure there's an update there, but I'm pretty sure this particular update here is regarding the firmware on the lights themselves. So that's the end of my review here, and if you like what you saw, you know what to do. And if you want to give me a thumbs up, that tells me that I'm doing a good job over here. And if you care to leave any comments down in the comment section here, I respond to every single thing that I see there. And once again, thank you for your time and visiting this channel, and I'll see you next time.